Diddle-um, the stomach rock a jazz. Diddle-um, the fifth and mighty ass is doing do, oh, diddle-um. Diddle-um, it's all my cotter's class. Diddle-um, the free nach Farbermacht is doing do.
Well, we're talking about the differences, similarities between, say, Irish music and Galician music. And for one thing, there's just been a constant back and forth of fishermen, and there's been connection between those two places since literally thousands of years. So, as far as an ancient connection, the original Irish dances that are recorded, written about, were round dances. And instruments played would have been some bowed instruments, some kind of like whistles, horns, that kind of thing. Galicia, the original dances, were round dances. The original Irish people lived in round houses. There are still, what do they call them? Palazzos or something like that. Palazzos, I think. Anyway, there's still buildings like that, round, thatched round houses. And it's one of the reasons I love having a yurt here. So the dances were round. So there are historical similarities between the people and the way they lived. The language originally would have been a Celtic language in those days. And that stuff doesn't go away. It gets incorporated and mixed into the mixture over the years. The oldest rhythm in Ireland is they call it a triple rhythm. So it would be like 6/8 or 3/4. 1 2 3 da 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 da, or da 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 da, that kind of a rhythm.
Like a jig.
Like a jig.
Yeah.
Well, the muñeira, which is one of the oldest rhythms in Galicia and indigenous rhythm, is just the same rhythm. Da 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 da. Now the tunes will have a slightly different flavor, based on Ireland was insular, and it had influence come from Scotland, and a little bit from England, but so, which helped maybe shape the tunes. And in Galicia they had other influences coming, but still the rhythm is the same. There are some. It's funny. I'll hear every so often. I hear a Galician tune, a muñeira, which is, by the way, it comes from the Galician word for windmill, because that's where they would have dances. The mill. Yeah. So muñeira. Muño is a mill, and. So anyway, I'll hear a tune. I'll go, gosh, that has to be an Irish tune. It's just so Irish, and I've had this happen to me a couple of times. I'll look it up, and no, it was a Galician tune that was maybe composed by somebody, but in the late 1800s. So, there are connections that come up, and the Irish musicians and Galician musicians just hear each other, and they love the music. I've experienced that myself. Back and forth. And there are other influences from Spain, like the jota, or as they say in Galicia, xota, X-O-T-A, which is the 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. That's a rhythm that came in from other parts of Spain. And as I said before, they play rumbas and foxtrots and other kinds of things. They play marches. They play fandangos, which again came in, but was then adapted in the particular Galician way. Polkas, other things.